Welcome to Factly, the place of interesting and unusual facts. Top 10 facts about reindeer. Reindeer are commonly thought of as Santa Claus's mythical helpers. However, in Arctic and mountainous areas, they are extremely real and occasionally in great abundance. This type of deer, often known as the caribou, can be found in the boreal woods of the northern Europe, Canada, and Alaska, as well as some places in the Arctic tundra. There are two types of reindeer, each distinguished by their long legs, antlers, and crescent-shaped hooves. There's forest reindeer and tundra reindeer, who roam thousands of kilometers annually in herds up to 500,000. There isn't a lot that's widely known about the species outside of fairy tales and holiday movies. They may not be able to fly in the actual world, but they can swim, and they have other abilities, like the ability to sense ultraviolet light. Learn what fascinates people about these magnificent creatures in today's video. Let's fly over to number 1. No, they can't fly, but they can swim very well. Reindeer have incredibly buoyant coats. It's also one of the reasons why reindeer are such strong swimmers. They are also excellent swimmers thanks to those webbed feet. In the middle of their journey, you may frequently find them crossing the massive Yukon River, which is the third largest river in North America and can be up to half a mile wide in some places. They swim powerfully through these rocky and large rivers, and they are capable of swimming up to 6 miles per hour, which is 3 times faster than the typical person can swim. And it also happens to be Michael Phelps's maximum speed. The National Park Service reports that young calves as few as a few months old have been observed swimming across islands that are approximately 1.5 miles apart. Speaking of traveling, that's going to bring me to number 2. They may be the farthest traveling mammal. Even though only some reindeer migrate, those who do have the capability of covering great distances more than any other terrestrial mammal. Only reindeer and gray wolves are found to have migrations that were longer than 620 miles, and that study was published in Scientific Reports. The study looked at the longest terrestrial migrations in the world. Due to the extraordinary length of their legs, reindeer native to North America are capable of covering an average of 23 miles each day. Throughout the day, reindeer move, feed, and rest together in herds that range in size from 10 to several hundred. It is possible for them to develop super herds consisting of 50 to 500,000 animals throughout the spring. The herds will typically go in the direction of the sources of food, which is one reason for the sometimes extensive distances that they travel. Number 3. You know how I mentioned that reindeer and caribou are the same thing? Well, that might not be true. Opinions diverge as to whether or not caribou and reindeer are, in reality, one and the same animal, despite the fact that the terms are usually used interchangeably. A genetic mapping study on the species Rangifer tarandus, which is the scientific name for both of these mammals, was published in Nature Climate Change. This study demonstrates the migration pattern of these mammals during the past 21,000 years. According to this theory, caribou and reindeer are two distinct species of mammals, even though they are closely related cousins. Reindeer are native to the northern Europe and Asia, whereas caribou are in North America. Reindeer have been defined as a largely tamed race of caribou by Don Moore, a wildlife biologist working for the Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute. Number 4. Did you know both female and male reindeer grow antlers? There are more than 45 species of deer, and only one of them has a female that also grows antlers. The primary purpose of the males is to compete for the attention of the females, whereas the primary purpose of the females is to protect her territory and her food supply. According to the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance, males can grow to a maximum length of approximately 50 inches, while female antlers can grow to a maximum length of around 20. Males lose theirs in the late fall or early winter following the rut, but females keep theirs until spring since they are often pregnant during the winter and need to guard their food during pregnancy. Number 5. Reindeer hooves alter with the changing of the seasons. As the seasons change, reindeer go through a number of bodily alterations in order to adapt to those harsh settings in which they often live. According to the World Animal Foundation, during the winter, their foot pads will contract and tighten, exposing the hoof rim. This allows the hoof rim to cut into the ice and the snow for traction. During the summer, those pads expand and become sponge-like, making them for an excellent mode of transport across the soft tundra. Number 6. Reindeer have hollow hair. When it comes to fur jackets, one would imagine that the denser they are, the better they are for wearing in the Arctic. Reindeer, on the other hand, have longer, tubular hairs on their top layers, despite the fact that their undercoats are dense and woolly. Because their shafts are hollow, those hairs are able to trap air, which acts as insulation and helps the animal remain warm even in cold situations. The lack of thickness in their fur is another factor that contributes to their white coloration. Number 7. They have a very special kind of eyesight. The ability to perceive UV light is unique to mammals, and the researchers at the University's College London revealed that only reindeer possess this ability. They can see wavelengths as small as 320 nanometers, whereas humans can only see the wavelengths as small as 400 nanometers. Each is 1/1000th of a meter. This means that they can see the entire light spectrum, including the parts that people can only view with a black light. In the blinding light of the Arctic, it makes them easier to identify the sources of food and potential threats. Number 8. Did you know baby reindeer don't have any spots? Reindeer calves are another outlier for the deer family in that they are born without spots. Henderson State University claims that a juvenile's deer markings are a form of survival adaptation. Other deer's spots assist their moms finding them if they've been outrun, since they can't sprint as quickly as adults when they're young. Their markings disrupt the pattern of the racing herd as they flee from a predator. Reindeer calves lack that adaptability because they can sprint as quickly as their adult counterparts in a matter of a few hours. Number 9. They love lichen, which helps them produce supermilk. There aren't precisely a lot of food sources for an herbivore given the tough surroundings. There is a form of lichen, sometimes known as reindeer moss, which is a mainstay of the reindeer diet, and it is moderated heavily in protein and vitamins and extremely high in carbs. Some of the richest and healthiest milk produced by any terrestrial mammal is reported to have come from reindeer. It has a respectable butterfat content of 22% and 10% protein. Human milk has 3 to 5% fat, compared to the 3 to 4% in whole cow milk. However, milking reindeer is limited to 2 cups per day. A type of sweet cheese is produced in the Nordic nations from the milk of some domesticated reindeer. Number 10. They are born runners. This kind of deer does not have those Bambi legs that are commonly associated with the character. Calves are capable of running at the same speed as an Olympic sprinter within 90 minutes of their birth. They catch up to the herd in a matter of hours after first falling behind. During migration, it is not unusual for young calves to cover the distances of up to 30 miles per day while running at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. That is only a little bit slower than the pronghorn, which has a top speed of 55 miles per hour and is the world's second fastest land mammal. Now, today's video may be ending, but that doesn't mean our learning is over, because I have one final thing you need to go tell all your friends. Did you know that Santa's reindeer were first mentioned in the 1820s in New York? A printer named William Gilley published a 16-page booklet titled A New Year's Present to the Little Ones from 5 to 12, Part 3, by an anonymous author. And here is a small part of it. Old Santa Claus with much delight, his reindeer drives this frosty night, o'er chimney tops and tracks of snow, to bring his yearly gifts to you. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you next time here at Factly.